Alright everyone, today we're diving into the heart of creativity, using what we have around us to make something amazing. And honestly, who doesn't love a good story about toy cars? So let me set the scene. It's a blistering hot day, right in the middle of August. Two friends, 𝚁𝚅 and 𝚁𝚅, are wandering around, and the heat is intense. I mean, it's that kind of heat where the pavement feels like it's baking under your feet, right? And they decide to check out a newly opened toy store at the end of the street.
Wow. That sounds really intense. So, are they just walking around looking for toys in this heat?
Exactly. 𝚁𝚅 turns to 𝚁𝚅 and says, "Honestly, it's cold. It really suits hot weather like this." You know, it's funny because when we think of hot weather, we sometimes forget how refreshing it can feel when you find an air-conditioned store.
I totally get that. I mean, sometimes just stepping into an AC room feels like a mini vacation, right? Like, I could really use that right now, especially in the summer.
Right? So they enter the toy store, and they're blown away by the selection of toys. 𝚁𝚅's eyes are practically popping out of his head as he exclaims, "Wow, there are so many toys! It's like a treasure trove."
Oh man, I can only imagine. Like a kid in a candy store. So, did they end up buying something?
Well, here's the twist. 𝚁𝚅 notices that the prices are pretty high. He's thinking, we could treat our classmates to Mr. Yanto's meatballs instead. You see how he's weighed the value of this toy against something delicious?
That's a tough choice. I mean, those meatballs must be really good. What did they decide to do?
They actually decide to leave without buying anything. 𝚁𝚅 then has this light bulb moment and says, "Wait! Don't throw away your motorbike!" He wants to put their used bottles to good use.
Whoa, that's a wild pivot. So they're getting creative with their trash?
Exactly. They start collecting materials to make their own toy cars. 𝚁𝚅's guiding them on what they need. Used bottles, bottle caps, straws, skewers, and even some ice cream spoons. And let's not forget the glue gun. It's like a mini DIY workshop.
So they're turning old stuff into new toys? That's super cool. Like, it's kind of like recycling, but in a fun way.
Right. And after they cut the straws for axles and assemble their wheels from bottle caps, they go wild with creativity, adding things like wings. Can you picture these totally unique toy cars?
Whoa, that sounds epic. Did they paint them too?
Yes! 𝚁𝚅 cheers, "Look at this color," once they're done painting. It's inspiring to see how they transformed everyday items into something that brings joy.
You know, I feel like that's a great lesson for all ages. Like, if we looked around our own homes, what would we find to create?
Absolutely. Creativity isn't just for kids. It extends to every part of life, from art to problem solving. When Nadia and Donita join them and see the toy cars, they're amazed. It becomes this beautiful moment of shared creativity.
Wow, that must have felt great. So what's the big takeaway from all this?
𝚁𝚅 sums it up perfectly. We need to be creative in everything we do, using available items to create something more valuable. It's about instilling creativity and resourcefulness in ourselves and others.
That's kind of inspiring, honestly. It makes me think of all the random stuff I have lying around that could be turned into something awesome.